Hello, everyone. This is Ben Dunn, creator of such comics as Warrior Nun, Ninja High School, Mighty Tiny, etc., etc. I'm also the founder of Antarctic Press, a comic book publishing company established in 1985. I also have two campaigns going, one on Kickstarter exclusively, which is Mighty Tiny, Tales of the Old Empire, a steampunk anthropomorphic adventure for all ages. Another is on Indiegogo, which is Tomorrow Girl, Volume 3, which is a throwback to the old Silver Age of classic superheroes. Um, you know, uh, Yesterday I talked to my colleague, compatriot, my brother from another mother, Larry Higgins, about monetizing this channel. And I mean, I could have looked it up for myself, read all the guidelines and stuff like that, but honestly, I probably would have been totally confused. Had no idea. So he contacted me. I contacted him. He contacted me, and he told me what he went through to get his channel monetized. He went through all the ins and outs and everything else like that, and told me what I needed to do. Needed to get 3,000 watch hours for the whole year, which about halfway there, I think. As long as I have people like you to help, I think I'll make it. At least I'm going to try. you know, what's the worst that could happen? Nothing happens, right? So, but if something can happen, maybe I can, you know, extend my reach, so to speak. You know, so it got me to thinking about, why I asked him to help me. I could have easily just looked it up myself and did everything myself and through trial and error figure it all out. But you know what? Figure, why bother? I had someone who already went through the thing, the experience, and I just simply would ask him what he went through, and see what pitfalls he went through, what kind of things to avoid, what kind of things to do. I mean, I've learned that I'm more of a visual learner than I am an audio learner anyway. And when people show me how to do something, I'm much quicker to pick up on it than simply listening to it. Basically. I'm not to say that I can't listen at the same time, but I just find I'm quicker at it when I can see it being done as opposed to being told. Everyone learns a different way anyway, different pace. We all have different levels of intellect. We all like to think that we're super smart, that we're intelligent, that we're, what do you call it? You know, highfalutin, basically. But, you know, I, I, I realize my shortcomings. I don't think that I am super smart. I'm not a genius by any stretch of the imagination. I admit that. You can call me slow-witted or whatever. I don't care. What you think of me as an individual. If you think that way, that's fine. Not going to affect me one iota. And as far as I'm concerned, you can think whatever you want of me. Fact of the matter is that I learn at my own pace, and I learned when I decide I want to learn. But I also am not afraid to ask. That's the thing, is that if I feel like there's some knowledge I can be gained by simply asking, then there's no, you got nothing to lose. The worst they can say is no. That's, to me, that's something that a lot of people take as either a challenge or as an insult. When you ask somebody for something, you shouldn't be afraid to ask. I always say the worst thing they can say is no. And how you take that is totally up to you. Some people take it personally, and that's fine as long as it doesn't lead to, anger and wanting to strike back at somebody through physical means. That's never a good thing. It never leads to anything good. I can tell you that. Or you could take it as a challenge. It says, okay, maybe I'll try to learn it on my own and see if I can do, better than how you did it. Maybe I can be more successful at it. So, I mean, I'm just saying that, don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask, people for their knowledge if they have experience in it. You'll find very quickly that will save you not only a lot of time, but it'll also, they'll cover pratfalls that aren't covered, in, visual instructions. And they will say, oh, well, there's I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, but my wife is. So, she made me watch the movies. Well, it didn't make me. I actually sort of started to enjoy them once I started watching them. But there's a scene in Half-Blood Prince where Harry Potter discovers a book with all sorts of notations in it to make the spells and potions better. Through trial and error, somebody went ahead and found a better way of doing things. And sometimes that's the only way to get things done is through picking somebody's brain and, finding out what experiences they went through so that you don't have to go through the same traps and pratfalls. There's a lot of people out there who are doing crowdfunding these days. And, when I started crowdfunding, when it first came out, I mean, this was like, 10, 15 years ago, I think. When it first started out, I didn't know what the hell crowdfunding was. I just thought you just plastered something on there and money would start folding in. Did not turn out to be the case. It wasn't until many months, many years afterwards, I started looking at other people's campaigns and seeing what they did and started to emulate what the successful ones were, but also looking at the failures as well to see what mistakes they may have made. And then I was able to start creating my own campaigns based on other people's experiences. Why? It's one thing to be a trailblazer. Just, I have great respect for people who are trailblazers, who are, forging ahead, charting new territories. That is something I admire greatly. It's when people take chances. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But if you don't try it, you don't know. When I started doing Mangazine in Antarctic Press, when it first came out, nobody knew what manga was. I wanted to share my experience with manga to everyone. I couldn't get legitimate manga. At first I thought, what? I should just go ahead and reprint this manga I got. I didn't know Japanese though, unfortunately, or Taiwanese, Chinese, so I couldn't translate. At first I actually experimented. I photocopied some pages from the manga and just made up my own dialogue. Just what I think they're going to say, and just try to make up my own story. And it seemed to work. But, I thought better and said, what, I really shouldn't, do bootleg manga here in the States. That could get me into a lot of trouble. So I didn't do it and decided, I just create my own manga. And that's how I think. But, no one had any experience about doing manga. I had to just learn on the fly. I had to, take the manga I did have, try to emulate that, try to copy it, try to make my own version of it. And it seemed to work. It seemed at least well enough for me to get off the ground and make a living. So I'm just saying to you out there, don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to talk to people who have been through the ringer already. Don't be afraid to pick someone's brains and to get knowledge. Because as they say, knowledge is power. And of course, there's some people who won't share their secrets with you no matter what. That's fine. Like I said, there's no harm in asking. And if you don't, at least there shouldn't be any harm in asking. Some people might feel insulted to be asking about stuff like that, in which case maybe you're better off not dealing with them at all. But I find for the most part, if you're respectful and you're friendly and you really need help in a certain area that you have no knowledge in, the best thing to do is to ask someone who can help you. Now, some people are paid, to share their knowledge, and that's fine. That's and some people are just good at learning, teaching themselves new things, and that's great too. But like I said, it's one of those things where you just shouldn't be intimidated by asking somebody, and you should. And in retrospect, if you're the one being asked, don't be afraid to share your knowledge. If you can find a way to, pass on knowledge to other people, then that's you're contributing a lot. This is why we should value teachers more than anything. Because teachers help us, learn, and so that we become productive and useful. So anyway, that's really all I have to say. I hope you have a great weekend. I'm going to be working on some projects, so hopefully you will have a wonderful day. Until next time, this has been Dunn, signing off.